Yo, what's good? It's your boy, right? Quick video. Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. Been a rough morning, rough week. But, you know, life happens. Life happens. It is what it is. You can only control what you can control. But I want to lay some groundwork for today's video. This is not a religion channel. This is not a spiritual channel. But I will let you know that probably 99% of the information I'm putting out, 99% of the information I give you is Bible-based. It's from Proverbs. So there is a source of, where this is all coming from. It's not from me. It's from the Bible. So that being said, I want to talk about how the Air Force is not a solution to your problems. The Air Force is not the solution that you're looking for as far as, if I join the Air Force, all these other issues go away. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. The Air Force is a solution to some problems. It is like a financial solution in some cases. It may solve the issue of, allowing you to get a free education. It may allow you to get some work experience, but it will not solve those behind closed door problems. Those issues going on that only you know about, the things that are going on in your head, the sleepless nights, the foolishness that goes on behind closed doors. The Air Force is not equipped, nor is it willing to solve those problems. Those things, they live under the layers that we place over them. Instagram is the highlights of our life, the seconds, the minutes that we want the world to know about. Oh, I took this fancy picture. Give me some likes for it. I was at this location. Look at me. Even with me, like the persona I give off, the achieving, oh, look at me, I'm disciplined, I'm consistent. I did a vlog and this is a highlight, and I was driving a Challenger and it wasn't mine, but y'all don't know that. And I was in Florida and, I was doing all, just achieving, bro. I'm a beast. Well, that's what I want the world to know. That's what I put out. But who knows what goes on, behind closed doors between the hours of, 2:30 a.m. to the time I go to sleep, which recently around 9 p.m. That's a lot of time that you do not see. Even these videos like 30 minutes, but that's the time that I'm just sitting behind a camera. What goes on, the rest of the day in my head and just in my life? That's what I want to address today. And I'll try to be, efficient and quick with it because, time is very valuable. So intersections. A lot of us, one could argue all of us are in what I would like to call what TD Jakes, who I was listening to this morning, he expressed as we are currently in intersections. As far as we are in a place of making major decisions. We're in a place of picking a path for our life, picking a path for our families. Not an easy, task. It's not easy whatsoever. It took me 4 years to join the Air Force before I actually, fully committed, from the time I spoke the Air Force out of my mouth to the time that I was at, the gates of basic training. It was about 4 years because that's a major step. Fear. You fear the unknown. You don't know. We all want that feeling of, just like social media. We all want that feeling of, I'm doing something with my life. I have something to show for my time. I am great. I'm not a waste of space. We all want to feel wanted. We all want to feel appreciated. We all want to feel like we're achieving. Probably in our deepest hearts of hearts, we all want to be a celebrity. We all want to be, in a sense, worshipped. We all want somebody to look up, oh, I want to be like him. Like for me, I'm reading my comments and, most of them are positive. And, people, oh, you're so wise and the content is so good. I'm like, well, you're never as good or as bad as they say you are. So stay grounded. But still, we all like that feeling of, you did a good job. We all like to be patted on the back. We all like to be appreciated. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. When you come to the Air Force, you will have the same problems that you started with. And I would argue that they will be worse. They will be enhanced. They will be more visible. I made videos on how people fall asleep in the military. It's a very sheltered environment, albeit very stressful and, fast-paced in certain, instances. The problems you have now will probably be worse if you join the military or when you join the military. Nothing goes away on its own. Everything tends towards disorder. Even the sun's energy is destructive unless you're talking plants, because plants are the only organisms, the only system designed to utilize sun power or sunlight efficiently. Everything else, it destroys. Energy just forced into an ecosystem is destructive. Look at any of the bombs we've ever dropped on major cities. Energy is destructive unless there's a system in place to utilize it. That was a dangerous tangent I almost went on. My mind loves to explore. Intersections. A lot of us are using social media to put pressure on ourselves indirectly. Like, we're not doing it on purpose, but we look at social media, we look at, the world around us, and we use that to gauge, am I doing what's right for me and my family? Am I, making moves in life? Am I achieving? And I fall in that boat as well. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I don't want things. I don't want material things. I don't want options. I don't wake up and have options. Which car do I want to drive today? I want that option. I'm human just like anybody else. I'm a 25-year-old black male sitting in a chair making a video. I am not like some type of, I don't know what people become when they get to a certain level on YouTube. I'm not one of those people. I am a normal person who enjoys jelly beans and cookies and sleeping in too. I want those things too. Social media, affects a lot of our decisions we make on a daily basis. Reasons I go work out are based off of what I could possibly post on social media. I want to look like an Instagram model too. I want to have the big chest and the big shoulders and, the strong legs and the big cat. But I want all that too. Thanks to social media, everything is available. Everything is available. There's zero friction as far as, we don't have to wait for a certain show to come on. We can go watch it anytime because there's zero friction now. Thanks to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime. If we want to watch, somebody work out, we can go look at one particular person work out and take inspiration from that one person. We don't have to wait for, a once a year bodybuilding competition to go get inspiration. But let me remind you, as I remind myself, because again, I preach to the choir when I make these videos, that after you achieve, after you use social media as inspiration or whatever you use of motivation, once you get to the top of the mountain, you'll realize there's nothing there. There's no substance. Once you get to the top of the mountain, you're going to realize that everything you worked for, everything you slaved for, and you went through all these years and months and weeks of discipline, and you finally achieve, you finally get that gold watch, you finally get that fancy car, you finally get the house you want, you finally get that dream vacation, you get that job you want, you join the Air Force. Finally, you're going to realize that there's nothing at the top of a mountain. After you finally achieve everything you want out of life, you're going to realize that there's nothing on top of the mountain. And not to be all depressing, not to, take away your drive or anything. Just realize that you must put things in perspective. You must put your life into perspective, your decisions. You must categorize your ambition, categorize your energy, realizing what's truly important in this world. Achieving isn't the solution. Achieving isn't the solution. If you want happiness, if you want joy, it's not the solution. If you don't wake up with a smile on your face, achieving, being great at something, being the best at something is not the solution. How do I know? Because when I got BTZ, when I joined the Air Force, when I swore in at MEPS, you're happy for a moment. Yes, I did it. I swore in. Raise your right hand. Done. What's next? Pass the ASVAB. Next. Well, that's out of order. Pass the ASVAB. Done. Swear in. Done. Go to base training. Graduate. Done. Graduate tech school. Done. Go to your first duty station. Done. Get PTZ. Done. What have I realized, over those little small things? There's nothing there. It's nothing that you can live off of for years. It's a moment. It's a single achievement. You must realize what's important. You must realize, that I need to prioritize. And first, it really comes down to a lot of these questions I wrote down. These questions. Again, a question is the most important resource to you as far as unlocking doors and walking through doors. You must learn to ask the right questions. And the cool thing about questions is that they don't always reveal answers. They just make you think. Some questions don't require an answer. Some questions are just meant to make you think. Like, wow. Sometimes it just reveals perspective. So yeah, just a couple questions that you should ask yourself. And one thing you're going to notice about these questions is that science can't answer them. One thing you're going to realize about these questions is that there's no answer to them. There's no scientific, there's no Google search, there's no proof, there's no foundation. You can't go search for these answers. These questions just make you think and put things in perspective. Make you realize that maybe I'm not in charge of my life. Maybe, there is a higher power. Why are we here? Why are we here? Well, in high school, they teach with tax-paying dollars that, everything started with a big bang. Natural selection, evolution, which, by the way, has 6 definitions. Evolution itself has 6 definitions. Go look those up. That's some good homework for you. But realize that the word evolution is not specific enough for most of the things that we talk about. Anyway, why are we here? Well, according to evolution, boom, we popped up and here we are. Over millions and billions of years, here we are. Here we are. Well, if we ask evolution or we ask, professor, why are we here? There is no scientific answer to that question. I always say that if you ask enough questions, you'll get down to faith. If you ask enough questions, you end at a religion. And there are many different religions. I follow Christianity. I am a Christian. I believe God created and designed everything we see through human beings. We are here intentionally and purposefully. We are designed. We are beautifully created. Just look at yourself. Just look at the world we live in. Look at our bodies. There has to be a designer, just like the iPhone or the Android or the computer or the tablet you're using. Would you say that came here by chance? Would you say that it just, boom, ended up in your hands? And no, you would say somebody engineered it. Well, look at the human body. Somebody had to design this. You saying all we have to do is sleep and it runs itself? It literally runs itself. You can't stop your heart right now. You can't control your heart. But it runs and it operates efficiently, provided you put the proper fuel into it and you exercise and make the right decisions. Just a question. Why are we here? Well, attempt to answer that. Attempt to answer that. It's just a question. If God's in charge, if God created everything, and again, it's not a religion, but I'm not trying to convert anyone. I just want you to think. I just want you to think, question everything you've ever been taught, and start with a fresh, clean slate and ask a question. Why are we here? Well, if God's in charge, then we are here intentionally. We have a purpose. We were designed. We are different. Everything you see around you is designed to solve a problem. Everything that was created is designed to solve a problem. The seasoning, God bless Caribbean jerk, is designed to solve a problem of bland egg whites. The technology you're watching this video on is designed to solve a problem. Why? You don't want a huge desktop in the middle of Starbucks. I can give you a billion analogies of how technology or whatever you use, your blanket on your bed, your sheets, your curtains, the light bulbs, the picture on your wall, electricity, the ceiling fan, everything solves. This microphone I'm using solves a problem. Now tell me how, humans solve problems. We created everything we see. We created it. So why would it be so far-fetched to say that you solve a problem? I'm solving a problem as we speak. I'm making a video. If you subscribe to this channel, if you follow this channel faithfully, just whatever, you like these videos, I'm solving a problem for you. I'm solving a problem. I watch other channels. I watch CG Fitness. I watch, Chris Jones. I watch, who else I watch? Steve Cook. All these different channels. I watch these channels because they solve a problem for me. They solve a problem. They're experts on fitness, invariably. CT Fletcher solves a problem. Mike Rashid, they solve a problem. Top Gear, all these different, Motor Trend and all these, they solve problems for me. You were designed to solve a problem. Your difference was decided by God, but it's discovered by you. You have to discover your difference from another person. My mind is my difference from the next person. I ask questions. I study my environment. I study the people around me. I'm curious by nature. Why? Bro, go jump off that cliff. Why, bro? Why? Let's get sloppy drunk. Why? It's Friday. Is that your reasoning? Is that your, let's go to the club. Why? I enjoy the environment. Oh, okay, cool. I don't, so I'm not going to the club. I don't have purpose there. Just ask questions. You don't always need an answer. What am I worth? Well, according to evolution, you're worth nothing because you're here by chance. If you die, it's natural selection. You did not survive. You were not the strongest. You were not the fittest. You're not worth anything. You're just another, statistic. How'd you die? All right, well, let's tally it up and let's move on. The greatest people on this earth, the Michael Jacksons, I can't even start naming names. Whitney Houston's, the people that have gone on and passed, Prince, shout out Prince, Charlie Murphy, people that, we admire, people that we loved, people that die, they have a great week in the media. Shout out X, Biggie Small, Tupac, all these greats that we looked up to. They die. What happens? They have a great week. I would say a great day, a great couple days, a great week in social media. Rest in peace this. Pray for this city. Pray for this country. And then what happens? We move on. We keep going. They leave a legacy, yes. Their birthday comes around and rest in peace, my boy. Rest in peace, old girl. And then we move on about our lives. Why? Because we don't care. Yes, you solved a problem for me. You created music. You got me through some hard times with your whatever you put out, your entertainment, or you made me laugh. Shout out Patrice O'Neal. I mean, they solved a problem for us, but then once they're gone, they're gone. Which leads me into my next question. Where do we go when we die? Well, science can't answer that. Why? Because we can't measure. We can't observe. We can't track. We can't execute a scientific, formula. There's no answer to it. It requires faith. It requires, religion, if you will. There's no answer to it. But if there was, that means that what we're doing now would be part of that equation. Again, all this being speculation, because again, there's no answer to it. It's faith. It's what I believe, but I can't prove any of it. Neither can science, neither can a professor. Just like they can't prove what happened billions of years ago. Prove a Big Bang happened. Well, based off what numbers? What numbers says that nothing, nothing blew up? Something the size of an atom? Can you duplicate that experiment? Can you show me any proof that nothing blew up into everything we see over millions of years? Where were you 50 years ago? Oh, well, my parents were here. Prove to me that a set of chicken wing bones had any babies. But yet we use fossils to prove that a whale started on land and its flippers were its legs. This is the science that I'm referring to, that we teach in schools, that a whale started on land and adapted to water and his legs turned into flippers. That dinosaurs are descendants of birds. Well, there's no fossil proof, but even fossils don't prove anything, because fossils, you can't prove a set of fossils had any children or different variations or different species. There's a whole world of just contradicting literature being put out, doctrines being put out, and it's at taxpayer expense. It's horrible. Oh my goodness. Why are we here? What am I worth? Where do we come from? Nobody knows. Who knows? Where do we come from? Well, Big Bang. That's a theory, but we teach it as doctrine. We teach it as, science. It's a theory, meaning it can't be proven. We can only speculate. Creation from the Bible. It's a theory. We can only believe. Yet one's being taught as science and one's being, labeled as faith. They're both theories. Where do we come from? Oh, I came from my parents. Where'd they come from? Their parents. Where'd they come from? Their parents. Continue that conversation. Get back a million years. Where did your parents come from? It rained on the rocks for millions of years, and it evolved into organic soup, and the first organisms, it rained on the seas for millions of years, and over time we got the first human. How far back do we keep asking where'd you come from? And somebody says your parents. At what point does that answer turn into it rains on the rocks, or a Big Bang, or at what point do we stop saying my parents? It's just a question. Again, there's no answer to it, but it makes you think for yourself. Why do I believe what I believe? It comes down to faith. If you ask questions enough, you get down to faith. Another question: how do we tell right from wrong? Moral relativism? Nope. I think this is right. You think it's wrong. You think this is right. I think it's wrong. Who's in charge? Well, who has more money? Who has more power? Who was here first? How do we tell right from wrong? Who's to say ISIS is wrong, but then we're right, but then Israel's right, but then Russia's right? Who's right? Who's wrong? What's true law? Where do we get our laws from? Just questions. One of my favorites. Who's in charge? So, a lot of you may have heard the story I told about me being basic training. We're getting our lives handed to us by our MTI. Shout out Technosar Morrow. Handing us our lives, just going off. Brad, let me tell you about yourself. You raggedy, low-down trainee. Bro. That's what I heard, at least. just going off on us. And it's during a thunderstorm, and all of a sudden, like, while he's just handing us our life on a platter, you hear the thunder crack. Boom. Huge sound. And immediately my perspective kicked in. Bruh. Even though I'm in a system, I'm in a process, I'm in a pipeline trying to join the Air Force. Yes, there are powers that be as humans. There's the government. The government is powerful because they have money, they have influence, they have land, they have what they have, whatever. They make the laws, they have an army, they have, police force. They have an Air Force. They have Marines, Coast Guard, sailors. We have a government that's in charge. But then a question arose, who's in charge during a hurricane? Because it's not the government. The government can't, tax a hurricane. They can't lock up a hurricane. They can't fire a hurricane. They can't hold a hurricane under the Patriot Act. They can't question a hurricane. Who's in charge during a volcano? It's not the government. It's not the existing, military force on that island. Who's in charge during a tsunami? It's not the government. It's not the Pope. It's not any, religious force or religion. Who's in charge? Again, these are just questions that should make you think that, is there a higher power? And if there is, what does he or she want? Again, this is not a spiritual channel. These are just questions. This should make you ask questions. Who is in charge and what do they want? Do they have a plan for me? Again, if you ask enough questions, you get down to faith. So after saying all that, back to the first statement I made. The Air Force isn't the solution to your problems. You need perspective. You need perspective. You need to start asking questions. And I mean good ones. Not just, what's for dinner. I mean, we need to start asking questions as in, who do I go to when I'm suffering in my silence? Because that moment will come. If it's not happening now, it will come soon. And when it does, it will probably be enhanced more so than it is now. Because basic training, it enhances everything. If you're lonely now, you're going to be even more so lonely in basic training like I was. If you're stressed now, you're going to be even more stressed in basic training. It's just going to be more so. If you're having family issues, it just gets worse when you're separated and there's no accountability. When you're deployed, it just gets worse when there's nobody to watch and to, monitor like your actions and your goings and comings. It just gets worse. If you're in debt, you're still going to be in debt. If you're drowning, if you can't manage your money, you're still going to be drowning. You can't manage your money in the military, even though it's a guaranteed check. Even though you know how much you're making next month. You're still going to mismanage your money because you did not address it now. You thought that the Air Force was the solution. You didn't ask questions now. If you're dealing with depression and anxiety, it's a constant war zone in your head. And you think that the Air Force, because you achieve and now you have a career, now you have a path, you think that that's going to fix your problems. It's not. It's not. If you think material things are going to fix it, if you think that I finally got a new car, I finally got that career I want, I finally got a new house, I finally got that condo downtown, it's not. You're going to be alone in it. You're going to be miserable because things don't satisfy. You think that big bank account, you finally go officer and you finally make him some big bank. Money doesn't bring happiness unless you're intending to help someone with it. Again, these are just questions. I challenge you. Question everything you've been taught from the beginning. I'm not telling you that's wrong. I'm not telling you that's right. I'm saying ask a question. Ask a question. Hopefully this brought you some perspective. Hopefully I was able to, shift a couple boulders around in your head. I hope I was able to shift your foundation. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to make you think a certain way. I just want you to think. God has given you a mind. He's given you an amazing mind. You're not an animal. You have choice. You have choice. You have the right to vote. You have the right to choose. You're not chained to a tree. You're not sitting in a cage unless, you might be in prison. But there's still hope for you because you have this. You have a mind. I'm saying use it. I'm saying stop taking, everything you see on social media as fact. Stop taking everything somebody tells you as, stop taking what Isaiah tells you, this is this way in the Air Force. Did you ask a question? Did you clarify? Did you verify? Did you ask someone else? This is why, I stopped selling things on Shopify. This is why I stopped, selling wristbands and t-shirts. Because I don't want anything back. I just want you to think. That's the video. I'm about to head to PT. Got to secure some space on the field for some ultimate football. But yeah, that's the video. Hope you have a great day. Hope you, find some peace today. Find some joy. Realize that there is a greater power. There is. That somebody is in charge. Realize that, your problems do have a solution. It's not in anything of this earth. Start asking questions. If you have comments, concerns, I'm not dealing with any trolling. If you'll notice that if I do see a troll, the trolls get deleted from the channel because I have zero patience. Zero. I don't say you don't have to be, propping me up. You don't have to give me compliments. I don't want your compliments. But yeah, if you do have questions or comments or concerns that are constructive in nature, that they may just be your opinion, then of course, by all means. I'm not deleting people for, different opinions. I'm deleting the intent behind it is what I'm looking at. But anyway, that's relative. Say it was good to you, boy. And have a great day. Execute. Get out that bed. Make some moves in life. Because it doesn't matter what you do on earth while you're here. It doesn't matter. But it's not everything. That's the video. Say it was good.